I'm on the way up. 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 Been a long time coming, but I'm on the way up. Been a long time coming, but I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up.
Hello pool players, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another lesson from the Apex Predator Billiards Training Club. My name is Apex Elenio, your aspiring professional pool player and pool instructor straight out of the small island of Jamaica. And we are back at it again on the practice table, but this time we're going to be bringing a combination of the knowledge gained from the two previous tutorials that was posted on the channel. Now, the aim of this particular video here is to try to pocket an object ball, specifically a pocket hanger, and we're going to be trying to come off two cushions to come in towards the cluster. Now, this particular knowledge that I'm going to be sharing with you here is in fact coming from the wagon wheel drill. I actually did not even realize that I was actually doing the wagon wheel drill, because I've always watched a lot of players do the wagon wheel drill, but I never really understood how they were so precise with how they were hitting the object ball. Now, the series that I'm compiling here for you is in fact inspired by Dr. Dave, where of course he did a video on cross table cue ball part. But replay or a reminisce on the last video here. In the last video we looked at, say here, pocketing the object ball and going towards specific diamond points on the long rail. Here I'm trying to go into the cluster of the 2 and the 3. And so if you watched that previous video there, that is part 1 in fact, we looked at using a quantified amount of spin to send the cue ball into a specific direction. For example, here I'm trying to go into the cluster of the 4 and the 5, and that required approximately 1 tip of spin. The previous shot required a half tip of spin. Now we're looking here at pocketing the object ball and going towards a diamond position on the short rail here. That's a beautiful shot there, really heading into the cluster there. That there required 3 tips of spin, that's approximately 3 o'clock. And going towards this middle diamond here requires approximately 4 o'clock spin, with precise hit on the cue ball and also precise hit on the object ball. So we're going to be taking this to another level and combining those two knowledge that we gain from that tutorial. So of course, if this is the first time here on the channel, do not forget to hit the subscribe button below, turn on your post notification bell guys, leave your opinions, thoughts and comments down below, and do not forget to share this out to your pool community. So let's jump right into it. Now, as you can see there, I've placed the 10 ball in a direct line that would prevent me from breaking out that cluster. So notice that my cue ball is in a direct line with my object ball, and so you can see that I'm pointing my shaft to come off, say here, the first cushion, the second cushion, pardon me. So notice how I am symmetrically identifying where I actually need to hit on the second cushion to head into the diamonds on the third rail. Now, I made a discovery while actually editing the video, because now I have a deeper understanding of the cue ball's reaction of the rail. Now, symmetrically, the first diamond, as you see me demonstrating there, would actually come towards the first diamond on the long rail. But what I did realize is in fact that sometimes when you're playing, well, not sometimes, when you're playing with spin, it is equally as important to understand how the cue ball reacts. Now here's a replay from the excerpt where I was actually trying to make contact with the diamond on the short rail, the first diamond on the short rail, and have a look at what the cue ball did. It catches in between the first diamond on the pocket and it head towards the first diamond on the long rail. Now, while I was doing that drill, I wasn't really paying much attention to really how it was reacting off the second rail. I was more focused on how much of the object ball I need to hit and the quantified amount of spin. So there you can see I came short twice, and that is in fact the position that I actually need to hit to make contact with the object ball that is on the long rail there. Now that is an excerpt from part 2 there. So now you notice that I pointed my shaft, and in my mind here I strongly believe that once it hits close to that first diamond there, it should come somewhat into the cluster. Now, as we mentioned before, several factors can contribute towards you missing a particular shot. Let's have a look at that replay. It was a badly struck shot for 3 reasons. One, that shot could have been affected by the length of my bridge, as we spoke about that in part 1 and part 2. Also, how much of the object ball you hit significantly affects the cue ball's path, and as well as the delivery, the quality of the delivery of the stroke into the object ball. And you cannot forget the speed, because the harder you hit the cue ball, it's the more the cue ball will deflect. So at the end of the day, even though I have given you quantified values of spin and speed and object ball hit fraction, you have to also understand that everything has to be in sync for you to get the accuracy that you need. So here I'm about to execute the shot here. Notice how it hits right in between the first diamond and the pocket. Beautiful delivered there. Watch the cue ball comes. Initially, remember we said that it should come towards the first diamond to head into the intended target, but there you can see it's coming like a diamond short. Now, I did make a discovery, and I did realize that, symmetrically, even though the first diamond on the short rail connects with the first diamond on the long rail right here where I'm pointing, then you realize then just from the hit and from the remaining shots in this video, you'll realize that it usually comes a half diamond away from the intended target. Here I'm going to be testing for consistency, and again you'll see where it hits exactly between the diamond and the pocket, the middle of the diamond and the pocket here. Now notice that it hits the first diamond there, and it went a hair long. So what I did in fact recognize here is that symmetrically with spin, that the cue ball, after making contact with the object ball, will open the angle of the first cushion. It will spread a little bit heading towards the second cushion, but once it hits the second cushion, whatever diamond it actually hits, it actually goes 1 diamond longer than the intended target. So for example, if you were to make a putt like what I'm about to do here, if it hits the first diamond, it perhaps will head towards the second diamond on the long rail, and the first diamond will actually head towards the middle of the corner pocket and that first diamond on the long rail. So that's also something that I discovered in terms of how the cue ball is reacting off the rails with spin. So here you can see that I've predicted that it's going to come off the second diamond, to come into the second diamond, but notice how it hits into the cluster there. Let's have a look at the replay. It actually comes a half diamond shorter than what I had intended, and notice that at 1.5 diamonds on the short reel, it actually heads perfectly towards the second diamond on the long rail. So this is truly some powerful knowledge that I have gained. I've seen so many videos of how, persons executing the wagon wheel drill, how they're very specific with where they want the cue balls to go. But it was not until Dr. Dave opened my mind towards how the cue ball reacts. That one video that Dr. Dave has made has truly changed the perception of my position play and the precision and accuracy of my intent. Once again, there came a little bit short, and occasionally you will find that even with having an understanding of this system, again you still have to hit the object ball, the cue ball, precisely with the correct speed, spin and quality stroke here. So you will find that when you're actually playing these shots, you may come a hair short or you may come a hair long, which is all the more reason why you need to put that work in. So here I'm going to be pocketing the object ball here, and notice where I come off the first diamond, and it actually heads just behind the cluster. So you have to understand that the initial, whenever the cue ball is rolling without spin, it will naturally head or connect the diamond, but once you have spin, it gives that whole different reaction from your intent. So far on the shots that we have played here, the first diamond, or pardon me, the first diamond will perhaps take us towards the in between the first and the second diamond, and in between the first diamond and the second diamond on the short reel should take us to the second diamond on the long reel here. So you see the graphics being displayed here on screen, and you will recognize also just by observation of how the cue ball is reacting when it connects to the cushion here. Now the intent here is to actually go into the cluster of the 1 and the 4 that is at the third diamond here. So let's see how beautiful this delivery is. I'm actually using about 4 o'clock spin. So notice it hits the second diamond and it heads towards the third diamond. That is in fact 1 diamond longer than the intended target. Now watch the spin as it takes off the second cushion here. Boom, it lengthens. It actually goes a hair longer, just a hair longer, just because of that spin. So it's important, guys, that when you're playing position, or when you're going to try to break out a cluster from particularly this type of situation here, you understand. Now I've just realized here that, you know, I've been watching as I was shooting, as I was doing the drill. I was in fact observing that I was getting a slightly different reaction than what I had intended. Now it's just that I'm watching the video and I'm editing the video now. I'm now realizing, wow, I truly just beginning to understand the cue ball's reaction of the reels here. So watch again, I go in between and notice that I came a hair short. Let's have a look at the replay here. Remember that I'm using 4 o'clock spin. So with 4 o'clock spin, and obviously there you can see that that wasn't the 4 o'clock spin, that was a little bit less, because as a pool player, when it comes to using spin, there's always that tentativeness, because with spin it's such a fragile variable that if you add too much or too little, you can miss your target. But it's important that you actually add this drill to your practice sessions and give it a 20 minutes just to ensure that you still have the feel of the hit, because spin, speed and cue delivery is crucial towards the execution of this shot. Oh, that was a beautiful execution there. Nice cue delivery. Watch how the cue ball lengthens off the first cushion, and watch how it begins to close the angle into that third cushion there. If you somehow happen to have this situation, guys, your game has truly just been supercharged just by this knowledge that I'm sharing with you here. And again, as I can see, guys, you may or may not have seen videos on the internet with instructors teaching this, but I can tell you that all of this knowledge that I'm sharing with you here didn't came from just me just sitting down thinking about pool. This was inspired by Dr. Dave when he released that video on the cross table. I think you can see the thumbnail here, and I went on the table. I was so happy, and when he began to explain how much spin needs to be done for the adjustment, I knew that my game was just going to increase by yet again another 15%. Now moving on to the well, we're almost to the end of the video here, but moving on here, I'm not sure if there's gonna ever be a situation where you need to do this, but trust me, guys, if you can do this consistently, you will find here that you are going to shake your opponents up a lot. Now that wasn't the most precise execution. I feel like it was a really good hit on the object ball. It kind of felt like it was gonna come into the cluster, but it just came a hair short there. But I really felt good with that hit there. But I know that with this kind of shot here, which requires about anywhere between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock spin. Remember we said that when the cue ball contacts the second cushion, it's going to close the angle. It's always going to go a hair longer. So I need to definitely put the spin in there. I was able to chip that cluster in. Let's have a look at the replay. Put on the 4.5 tip spin there. It hits exactly where I wanted it to, but notice that it came a hair short. You know, I expected it to head towards the side pocket, but it came a hair short there. But it was able to break out the cluster, and that was the objective. But of course, you know, I always have to test for consistency here. So once again, going to be placing the object ball into the corner as a pocket hanger, and I've already discussed with you in part 1 and 2 how difficult pocket hangers can be when it comes to playing position. Now here's an excerpt from the part 2 here, where in fact for me to make contact with the ball that I'm trying to do, I have to hit somewhere there. I don't want to hit so deep into the cushion. I actually want to hit exactly towards the third diamond. So if I can hit anywhere close to that third diamond there like I just did, I should be able to go into the cluster full. So let's see if you can execute here. 5 o'clock spin. Watch that cue ball lengthens. Ooh, chip it in there. Really nice. That felt really good, guys. That really felt good. Let's have a look at the replay here. Beautiful cue delivery. Watch the spin opens the angle slightly and watch it takes off into that direction there. And if this was an actual situation where the 8 ball was blocked by the 7, you can see how beautiful that shot was there. You know, you can see I'm left dead straight in on the 8. So there I gave you a thumbs up to let you know that, trust me, having this knowledge going forward, guys, you are going to take your opponents by storm. You're going to be able to do some things on the table that naturally a lot of players will not be able to think about. You'll be able to see more positional routes. You'll be able to break out clusters in difficult and tight positions, and you'll be able to have a lot more control and less variables to think about when it comes to playing the game. But you definitely have to put some time in on the table, guys, to practice this. Now I do have part 4 coming out, and in part 4 we're going to be doing a lot more in-depth thinking. In fact, we're going to be overlapping the knowledge that we got from part 1, 2, and of course the particular video that you are watching. So do not forget to share this out, guys, to your friends, you know, your practice partners. This is the knowledge that I've been searching for years, and now I've accessed it. I'm definitely going to put some time in here. Now what you see me doing here, I was actually trying to create a bonus clip for you, but I wasn't, you know, at the moment the idea of the video was just to teach you the part of the cue ball and how to hit it and send it to a specific target on the rail. But I was actually trying to create a situation where you need to go around the angles. So here I have placed the 5 ball and the 4 ball at a strategic point on the long rail, and I'm actually trying to go off 2-3 cushions, but I want to precisely go between the 4 and the 5 to escape. So it could be a case where maybe I have an object ball somewhere near to where the cue ball is, and I need to come through that part there. Now once you have this knowledge that I've shared with you so far, you'll be able to say, all right, then I can avoid that cluster, or I can go into that cluster. I can you can assure yourself that you can go in between the angles and in between the part there. So watch, with that knowledge there, I was able to slide past the 5, come in between the 5 and the 4, and come back down table. Now obviously I scratched the shot, but that was not the intent. The intent was just to test if it is that I could actually visualize the cue ball part using spin. So I think I'm actually made a part 4, but I'm going to make a part 5 to this, and I'm going to call this series, I'm not sure what I'm going to call it as yet, but a link will be pinned in the description box below. You can find the links to all the other videos that has come out already and that will be coming out when it comes to this here. So definitely check that out. It will be pinned in the comment section. Now here's a very difficult situation, and you're going to be so shocked as to what you're about to see here, guys, because this is absolutely crazy. Just imagine you being in a position, having this knowledge, and when you try to execute this particular shot, what you're about to see here is a 1 in a million chance of happening. And if you try to replicate what you're doing here, it's not going to ever happen again. Now here I'm potting the 2 and I'm trying to break out the 3 from the 6. Now watch how precisely I hit the cue ball and the object ball, and look at what happened to the cue ball. Right in between the 4 and the 6. Isn't that crazy? That was a beautiful hit. You could almost say that I could do nothing wrong there, and it went right between 1 ball space. This is absolutely sick. And you can see I have a smile on my face there because I could not believe how that actually happened there. Now here, just trying once more, try to go into the cluster. Boom, beautiful delivery again. Ooh, just a little bit close there. Alright, but of course that was not the intent of the video. I was just trying to add a little bit of a bonus clip, but I'm going to be definitely doing a video on that day where we can actually predict cue ball's path through certain sections of the table when there's clusters. Alright, so I really do hope that you enjoyed this part 3 here, and you can actually supercharge your game to the next level. So I'll see you in part 4, guys, and let me know your opinions, thoughts and comments in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next tutorial video. Until next time, take care, keep on practicing with precision, accuracy, consistency and control. Bye bye.